Hey guys, hope you're having a good week. This is April Liverman again with Caretaker's Heart Speaks, and on this segment I want to talk to you about mammograms. We're going to be talking about the important things to look for in your mammogram report so that you make sure that you fully understand it. Here is a sample of my mammogram report and what your report may look like. At the very top of the report, it should say what type of mammogram you're getting, and it should either be a screening or a diagnostic mammogram. A screening mammogram is just a mammogram that you have every year annually or every 2 years. And a diagnostic mammogram is a type of mammogram that you may get if you're having a particular problem with your breast. The next section of my mammogram was entitled Indication, but it could be entitled History of Present Illness, or it may be just history. And that section is very important because it gives the radiologist an idea of why you're having the mammogram. It's especially important for your provider to write in information about the symptom you're having, the lump you're having, your family history, and any other pertinent history. Down below that is a section called Comparison, and this details the comparison films that were used to compare this particular mammogram to other mammograms that I had had in the past. It's very important for you to submit comparison films or have comparison films for the radiologist to look at so that they can determine if something in your mammogram is actually a new finding or something that has existed for years. Some mammograms may actually detail the technique next, like they did in my films. And the technique is usually telling if you had like a digital mammogram or a 3D mammogram. This may be important for someone to know when they're looking back at your mammogram report. The next section is the findings section. And this section is really important because it details what the radiologist actually saw on your mammogram films. And usually this is detailed as right and left side, and the radiologist will be specific on what was found in each side of the breast. There is also a description of what type of breast density you may have. And lastly, the radiologist may mention that the mammograms were actually read by a computer-aided detection. And this means that your mammogram was analyzed by a computer that actually picked out areas that look suspicious so that the radiologist may go back and look at those areas more closely. So that means that your mammograms are not only being read by a human, but also by a computer as well. The next section is the impression section, and this is the section where the radiologist will tell you if everything looks benign, stable, or normal, or if there's something that they saw that looked abnormal. In the recommendation section, which comes next, the radiologist will tell you if you're good to go and if you can get a mammogram on an annual basis, or like I said, every 2 years, or if you need a short-term follow-up, which could be 3 or 6 month follow-up with additional imaging, or it could mean that you may need additional imaging immediately, a diagnostic mammogram or ultrasound or an MRI. And the last section is the assessment, and this will give you your BI-RADS rating. I'll be discussing those ratings in another video, but every mammogram is given a BI-RADS rating. This concludes the video on understanding your mammogram, and I hope you'll tune in for the next video where I'll be talking about the BI-RADS rating and some more things to understand about your mammogram report. Try to get your mammogram report now and look at it and see if there are some things that I mentioned that you may look at your mammogram now and that they are helpful for you. Thank you for listening to Caretaker's Heart Speaks. This is April Liverman. Thanks.